Hi, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have a card that incorporates elements from both my triple play frame and triple play holiday set. I want to show you how perfect this frame is for creating a spinner card. And I made this card for Halloween with the pumpkin and the little different faces in my triple play holiday kit, or stamp set, excuse me. But since we're so close to Halloween right now, I decided to do a Christmas design for you. So I thought that this new piece of paper from Gina K's Sparkling Christmas Stamp TV kit that is going to be coming out this Thursday, October 29th, would be a really nice way to create a seasonal card and to create some spinning ornaments. So for this particular project, we are going to be needing the triple play frame and triple play holiday stamp sets. Going to need some different blocks. So I've got a large block for my frame. You could also use a cuttle block plate, a long one for stamping the border, but you don't have to use the border on this card. That's just one element I'm using. And then some small ones for the round label stamp and the little elements. I have two punches that I like to use with this stamp set. I've got a 1 1/4 and a 1 3/8 inch circle punch. And I got these from Stampin' Up! Years ago. You can also use dies if you don't have punches, or you could even use scissors, but you need one that is slightly bigger than the element that's going to be turning, just to give it some room. The ink pads I'm using, I've got the Gina K Cherry Red, the Prickly Pear, and the Dark Chocolate, and these colors all coordinate with the new kit. Here is just a peek of that Sparkling Christmas paper. And I'm going to be using a piece that has those hanging ornaments. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I have cut it so that the ornaments are going to be hanging down, and that is going to match up with my spinning elements. I also have a top fold card here, and this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and then just a scrap of paper, but you're also going to be punching out of this paper, and you can use those for your spinning elements. I've also got just some thread. I use white thread when I'm using white cardstock. So this is going to be the most inconspicuous usually, but if you can imagine, if I was using a black cardstock, then when you have the card closed, you might want to use a black thread. If you don't have a matching thread, then you can just take your markers and dye it to match the paper, however you choose. If you don't have white thread, hopefully everyone's got some dental floss. I have used that on spinner cards. We'll also need just some scissors for cutting that. And then I've just got some adhesive tape. I would prefer to use score tape when I am doing my spinner cards, just because I want something that's permanent and really strong so that it's not going to end up loosening over time. But this is all I have on hand right now. I thought that I had some more score tape and I don't, but that is what I would recommend. All right, and then just a couple markers here. I've got the GB8 and the DR6 Spectrum Noir for adding a little color to those borders. So let's begin by stamping the frame onto the pattern paper. I'm going to use the dark chocolate for this. And you can cut out all 3 of these, or you can do it like I am, where I'm leaving one of them closed. So I just have the end circles open, and it's really easy to get to there when you've got that bottom fold card. This little layout works for either way though. You could also do it portrait style and have them hanging kind of like a stoplight, and that would be pretty too. So I'm just eyeballing it where I see that I've got the pattern going about 1/8 inch from each side. And if you get off a little bit, then you can just trim a little bit, okay? And then I'm going to add some color to these borders. And if you have the triple play filler stamp set, then you have that circle to fill in the rims. Just very quickly. So I love this marker with the prickly pear. It's just a nice rich gold. I love gold on Christmas cards. And if you want to leave these borders open, you can. Just accents it a little bit more so you really see all those layers. And this is going to mostly get punched out, but I do want it just around the edge. So you don't even have to fill in the whole thing, but you just want to get that outer edge of it. I love interactive cards, and I haven't made a lot in my videos, but a spinner is very easy to do, especially with all these small elements in the triple play holiday set that will fit into those circles. So you've got greetings, different images. If you did the pumpkins, then you're going to need one for the front, one for the back, and then you would just do the smiling face and then the scared face. I'll show those again at the end if you want to see them. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, first I'm going to punch out just this middle part. And if you want to use these pieces, then you can do the 1 1/4 first. But if you don't want to use those pieces, then you can just go straight to the 1 3/8 inch punch. Okay, right here. And when I said use these pieces, I mean to flip them over like that. Okay. All right, now I'm going to just put this on here. And you might be able to, it depends on how thick your cardstock is and how thick your pattern paper or your extra layer is going to be. So you might be able to go ahead and punch through both layers at a time, but then sometimes your punch has a hard time going through that. So I'm just going to set this on here as my guide. I'll be able to remove it again, but I'm going to take this out. So remember, you need to do the larger punch for the hole where it's going to be turning. Okay, and then going to want to put a lot of adhesive just right above and right below on either side. Okay, and then I've got some on here for the rest of my cardstock. And then I'm going to do the thread. So I'm going to cut some of this. And I'm going to lay this tightly right across the very middle. Press that in. You can trim that in a minute if it's sticking out the ends. I just wanted to make sure that I had enough to pull all the way across and pull it tight. So now we'll trim it. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and lay this on here. Okay, now what I want to do is I am going to stamp out some of these labels. So I'm going to do the yellow first. And that's going to get lighter as it dries. So I'm going to have 2 yellow on the back and then a yellow one here in the middle. And actually, I realized I did cut it out on this first one, and I just forgot that I popped that in there. But I'm just going to go over this with my 1 3/8 inch punch. Okay, then I'm going to do my red ones. Sorry about that. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do this card, and it'll basically turn out looking exactly the same. Okay, all right. So I'm going to punch these out, and I'm just going to do one of these with the 1 3/8 to fill in that middle circle. So I'm going to put that on just like that, and I'm going to use the greetings, the Love Joy piece from my triple play frame set. And I'm going to use the dark chocolate again. So I've got the joy. And I'm going to use the little bell stamp that's in my triple play holiday for the fillers on these O's. Just a little angle. And that's going to go right in the middle here. Now, I'm going to do the other greetings. So I'm going to have peace, this red one, and then love, on the other red one, and then I'll add that bell one more time. Where did I put the bell? Ah, here we go. Okay, so we're going to punch those out with the 1 1/4. So this is the one that fits it exactly. And then I'm going to add just this diamond border going across, and I just like how this looks on the label. It makes it look like a little ornament to match those different ornaments on the paper. Okay. So that's all the stamping we're going to do. Punch this out. And this one. Okay, so I want these to be going horizontal across the back. So I need to have some of this, just like this, so that it's lined up with the tape. And it's hard to get them lined up if you have words or something that actually has a direction. A flower might not matter, but if you want it to be going horizontal on both sides, you want to add it on one side and then on the other side. So let me show you. I'm going to do, just gently lay it on there so that it's centered. And then I'm going to turn it and put my piece, it's going this way. So you layer it just right over. And then the same thing for the love. And hang on, stuck to my paper in the back. Really gently put it on there. Flip. There we go. And you fold the card up. And you have that fun spinning effect. Love. Ah! I meant to put love on the other side. You get the idea. Love, joy, peace. So thankfully this is removable and I can swap these out. Like this. Sorry about that. That. And like that. Once again, here's the Halloween card with the boo. And on this particular card, I just used some of those stitch elements again from the Triple Play Holiday set and then colored in my borders with the different Spectrum Noir markers. I hope you enjoyed this card and this project. Try it with some of the different elements. You could even have these colors, the flowers changing colors as it flips from side to side, or maybe the leaves on these wreaths, or even changing the frosting on the cupcake, or having the cupcake on one side and then the It's Your Birthday on the other side. Lots of different combinations. I hope you'll try out this card and post your projects on Stamp TV and your other social media. Thank you for watching this today. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more ideas and inspiration using all my stamps, and visit us on Gina K Designs and Stamp TV. Thank you for watching today, and God bless.